Listen, people, you're exhausted and you're broke. Please don't click away. This is all about the conversation that no one is having. So why are you so busy and broke at the same time? Honestly, it's very simple. It's because you are not accountable to you and you don't have your full attention. I'm going to say that you don't honor yourself or consider yourself worthy enough to really hold yourself to a high standard and not allow anything to infiltrate your radar that is not building your wealth. Because if you're not doing it, no one else will. The question then becomes, why is it we say that we want something, but we end up doing something else completely different? And really, it's more of a learning issue than anything else. And I'll tell you why. When we're busy doing something that creates being broke at the end of it, is because we haven't learned what it is that we don't even know we need to learn. So then the question becomes, if you're busy, what are you avoiding? If you're busy, what mess have you created that you're not even aware that you may be stepping in? And most important, if you're busy, what is it that you're tolerating? Because a lot of times when you're busy, your life is full of all the things that you said you didn't want, but that is exactly what it is that you have instead. Being broke is doing activities that keep you busy with no really rate of return, and those are things that we have talked about. Nothing to show but tiredness, fatigue, and just busyness of time, lack of focus and attention. So business looks like not preparing ahead of time, always running behind time. What do mornings look like? Mornings look like, oh shoot, I'm out of time. Maybe you didn't pack your lunch. Maybe your supplies or your work content is not prepared. What does building look like? What building looks like preparing the day in advance, everything that you need for that day. So in the morning, instead of waking up late, you may actually just choose to stay in bed. You have time to work out, you have time to meditate, to journal, to drink coffee, to cozy up with someone or something that you love, to go take a walk, to absorb your vitamin D. Like, you actually have time for all the great things in life. And that is how you actually start building, is by putting those simple blocks, and it starts in your AM, right? Another way that busy looks like is by self-sabotaging. That is saying that you're going to do X, Y, and Z and not doing any of them because you got distracted with Netflix, because you had to take out the dog, because someone needed your help. So for example, if you are looking for a job and all you're doing is just looking, right? I'm looking for a job, but you're not applying and you don't have an interview, that's being busy. You looking for a job is not the same as applying, and it's not the same as showing up for an interview. That's building. Building is when you have a resume. It's when you're knocking on doors, when you're doing follow-ups, when you're doing networking with people, when you are out there advertising yourself in whichever shape or form that your creative mind can put together until you land the interview, and after the interview, after you get the job. That's building. The other one's busy. Just looking and seeing who's hiring is not the same, and writing it down on a little piece of paper and never contacting and never taking the action, that is busy. That is not building, because you have nothing to show for your work, actually no paycheck. Building is actually honoring yourself, honoring your word as to what you said you were going to do. If you said you were going to get up at 5 a.m. and work out, and after that actually apply for 10 jobs, then that is exactly what you do. That's called honoring yourself. If you said you were going to write thank you notes to every single person who interviewed you, that is honoring yourself. If that is saying, hey D, you know what, I'm going to take myself on a walk in the beach, but afterwards I'm just going to connect with this work center down the road and see if they have any jobs. That is honoring thyself. It's whatever you said you were going to do to honor. If you're going to lose weight, guess what you do? You actually go and lose weight. You learn how to do it. You put the steps in place. It's called action, and you get the result. That's called honoring yourself. That is not, you know what, I started a diet a day ago, but you know, I'm going to eat this cookie. That cookie does not belong in your diet. Put it down and be accountable to yourself and honor yourself. Your attention costs money. When you look at even why this channel is successful, is because I have your attention. That is how I make money, and that's actually how the algorithm in YouTube makes money, is with your attention. Your attention is the most valuable investment key. That it's part of your investment, it's part of you. It is the resources that you have, and it is completely valuable. If you're not making money, someone else is. Stop being busy and know what time it is. And if you don't know what time it is, download my time wheel. Focus your attention on the area of your life that you want to focus on. And every email that comes in, every phone call that comes in, sometimes we think spending time talking to our best people is not wasting time. But if it's not making money because you're not choosing to go work and analyze how much time you actually have available for all these other activities, if they're not making you money, honey, that's called wasting time. If you're trying to pay off your debt, may all your activities know where they go. Oh, this goes in my time. This goes in health. This goes in fun. This goes in you. If you look at the time wheel, there's 7 sections on there. Everything that comes your way, before you answer the phone, ask yourself, will this make me money? And if it's not, don't answer it. Get busy, go making money, go open up your schedule, go pick up a part-time job. May all your money come to this one area of wealth. You need to redirect your attention. For example, when you are driving in a car, what happens when you take your eyes off the wheel? Well, it's either an accident or you could actually end up dying because you lost your attention. So in order for you to stop being busy, you need to ask yourself, what am I avoiding? Why am I choosing to be stuck? And most importantly, what am I learning here about me? Because when you discover the truth of why you're choosing to stay busy and continue to be stuck and be broke, there comes this moment that I like to call it's more like, no puedo creer que esto me está pasando a mí kind of situation. And I'll have that translated in English a little bit, but I'll give you a little bit example about me and what my business looked like as I was preparing this material. I realized that I used to get fired a lot, and I was really just wasting time moving from one job to another, getting fired. I never really thought of that as busyness. I thought as like I was actually trying to build something, but I had nothing to show for, because as I got fired, my finances were actually non-existent, and I ended up actually in a very negative place. And so it wasn't until the moment where I got fired, maybe for like the 5th time, and I remember coming home, and my daughter at the time was maybe 8 years old, and I was really crying like a baby, and she asked me, "Mom, did you get fired again?" And at that time, the waterfall inside of me broke, and having your own child ask you, like, why are you fired? Basically is what she was asking. Like, come on. Why is this even happening? I actually didn't even have an answer at that time. I didn't know the answer, but there was this feeling from inside of me that surged. And I was like, I don't know what this is about, but I will never be back here again, ever again. That is all you need. It is that moment that you're able to shift, when you're able to put attention on your life, and you kind of have this moment as to really you are the cause. So once you make that shift, you really start thinking, I will never be back here again. When that moment starts, you actually start showing up differently and thinking differently. I'm going to read this next piece because I did eloquently write it, and I just want to get that point across because it's very meaningful to me. You will find that there are key pieces that come into your life when you make those transitions and those changes. And those pieces will help you identify the moments where you created change in your life. For me, it was the suit. And this is what I mean when I speak of style ROI. All right, so the style manifestation, while this is not the exact same outfit that I wore 20-some years ago, However, this is what actually I would wear to an interview. The actual suit that I did wear was just a fabulous pinstripe suit. It was very nude gray. However, the quality, it looked like I worked in corporate America. So actually that's what got me hired for my next job. They hired me because of my suit. And so that was really sweet. And so, however, what I have here is an actual outfit that I would actually wear to an interview. And I'll just pinpoint a couple of things here. I love it because it's actually a jumpsuit. Okay, listen, I love jumpsuit. If you're not a person who loves dresses, this is definitely very fashionable. And I'm going to say that first impressions do matter. You have many people interviewing. You can definitely do it with dignity and honor. You have a fabulous jacket. I will tell you that this piece right here, I actually bought this one at Clothes Mentor. I bought this at Clothes Mentor and it still had its tags. It's from Paris, Milan. So let's just say I have a fabulous deal, but I do love the orange because typically I think people would wear black with this, but I do love the orange because it gives it a little pop of color. And of course you have your bolero sleeves. And this is actually something that Miss Coach D here would actually wear to her interview. But most importantly, this was, even though this wasn't the exact same outfit, but it wasn't until I had that shift, right, of really realizing that I was busy getting fired, I showed up differently the next time. I showed up with a different reason, a different mentality, and my focus and attention was very different. Even though I didn't really know the reason at the time that I kept getting busy, getting fired, but I knew that it was something that I never wanted to experience again. I experienced it one more time. Sometimes we got to complete our lessons, but after that, the story does change. And so I want to tell you that no matter where you are, clothing does really help shift because it brings out something in you that you may not have at the time. And so if you're looking for if you have a job, please do a suit. You can do a two-piece. You can actually do, of course, a suit and a jacket, or if you have something, improvise. I mean, I'm sure you have fabulous clothes or pieces in your closet. FYI, I drop videos every Wednesday. So whichever way is your form of supporting me, please do so. I'd love to actually stay on air. So now we know the difference between being busy and building and the cost of your attention and where your attention's going. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the very most important investment that every woman needs to make. Coaching from the heart, Diana.